Are y'all ready to get going? Okay, are we ready to have some fun? This is what we are going to finish up like. Okay, I know all of you have different foils, and I picked different foils. Yes, I did. I picked different foils to do my other sample with because I didn't want to make two the same. And if you have leftover foils and leftover scraps, you guys can do the back as well, okay? I'm coming up with different ideas of how I plan on using this because these are so cute. They can just go anywhere. I really want to put a stake on this so I can stick this in my garden. Okay, we've got a really cute house and we got all these planting beds out in front. And my neighbors even came and told me they really loved all the fun things that I was always doing with my porch. Okay, and let's just get started here, you guys. Let's have some fun. Oh, and then I have to tease you. So next month, okay, for May, this is going to be our paint party project. Okay, yes, we're going to do it again. We had such an amazing response, and we were just thrilled. So for those of you, and I'm just going to assume some of you haven't prepped. Okay, so in your little box, your little kit box, you received both parts of your flower. Okay, and it's just the raw wood. Now, okay, so I'm going to start, and it didn't matter what black paint you used. If you painted it black, or you could choose whatever color you felt was complementary to the foil. So you don't have to go black, okay? But I just have a tendency to go over black because I like how most of the foils read over black or a dark color. So my product is a paint and a primer in one, and I'm grabbing a stir stick because this product has a tendency to settle, okay, and separate a little bit, but it's never a bad habit to get into to always stir your paints first. And look at my little habit here, okay? I just wipe my stir stick off and put the paint back in the bucket so I'm not wasting anything, okay? So maybe, okay, so I'm just gonna paint the surface. These wood cutouts are laser cut, so they already have like the black from the laser cutting it on the edges. I didn't bother to paint the edges. I just went ahead and said, okay, we're just going to leave it black. Now, if you decided to base coat yours in like a gold or a pink or whatever color because you want it to make sure it was really close to your foil color, then maybe you might want to paint your sides as well, okay? So I'm one who likes to have my brush strokes, but I went with the grain of the wood. Okay, so I didn't go the other way because if as long as you're going with the grain of the wood, this should hopefully eliminate as many brush strokes as possible. Okay, so to start with, you should have everything painted a base coat color. What we're ready for foil adhesive. And again, I sometimes get messy, so we are going to keep our messy paper out. This is packing paper. I know I have some people that will ask questions about this because we ship all the time here. We have a ton of, we buy this in bulk. And I'm thinking that it would be cheaper if you found, you know how when your kids were in school, some of you might have kids in school still, and they had those this is our foil adhesive, okay? It looks milky white in the bucket, but when it dries completely clear and it dries shiny. So you'll definitely know it's on there. This one has the foil adhesive and this one doesn't. So you can see it changes the sheen of the surface. Um, oh, there. Okay, I got a good angle going for you guys so you can definitely see that because my paint almost looks completely flat against the shininess of the foil adhesive. But it dries perfectly clear and it will be sticky, sticky, sticky. And that's perfect. That's what we want. So when I'm brushing it on, I like to put it on my foam plate, and this foam plate has layers and layers and layers of foil adhesive because I just let it dry and just keep using it. And I'm just going to do a light spray. Okay, this is my mister bottle, and it just puts out a mist of water. So I'm not adding much, but when I brush the foil adhesive on, I think it really does help to add a tiny bit of water. Now, I do like my artist brush, but you can also apply this with a foam brush. And you want to make sure you are making all your lines as straight as possible, okay? We don't wanna have any excessive brush stroke marks or have anything going in different directions if we can avoid it, okay? So just put on a full coat and go put it someplace safe so it can dry. And dry time is important with this. I can't stress the fact that the longer you allow it to dry, the better it's going to be because it continues to dry to a really hard, firm tack. And that is going to give you your best transfer when we're doing any kind of a surface like this. So if you push it and you only allow something to dry for about 15 or 30 minutes, you might not get as great of results as you would if you just are a little bit more patient and let it dry for hours. Okay, so I want you guys to realize why I'm doing it this way. Normally, I always say I'm going to brush with the grain of the wood, but I know that we have our center to our flower that's going to go in the middle of this, and it would hide any brush strokes I possibly have. So that is why I did it in this manner. And of course, we're going to attach the center of the flower with some glue, so any imperfections or brush strokes will be hidden. I know that in my little finished sample, I used the Flower Power Pink and Abigail on my center, but I figured we might as well do something different. So I grabbed Koi Cheetah, which I thought would be fun. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece um, big enough to go over my flower because I want to try to do the flower all at one time. And for those of you that are doing the project, uh, you received two different foils, your choices. Your first choice was the gave you a bigger piece, okay? So on everybody's first choice, we provided 2 feet, so you'd have way plenty of foil. And your second piece was just 1 foot, so you'd have, again, plenty to do the center. So a little bit about your foils. This beautiful side here that's showing you the pattern is actually just the plastic side. But it's clear plastic, so it's allowing you to see the design. On the back of this is where the metallization is actually is, and that's the side we're going to transfer. So I try to remind everybody when you go to do this, the colored side or pretty side should be facing up or facing you, okay? Do not get it the other way because then you're sticking plastic into foil adhesive, which really, really wants to stick, okay? So now I'm just gonna smooth it out. Ew, I just barely got on there, okay? Whew. So first of all, I like to just take my rag, okay, and smooth out. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see really close what I'm doing. This is a plastic bristle scrub brush. You can find something similar at your grocery store, Home Depot, I don't know, Walmart, Kmart, Target, everybody's gonna have some kind of scrubber brush. It's basically from the cleaning area. This one's called an all-purpose scrub. Um, I like the shorter bristles, so if you can find one that has shorter bristles and that has a lot of bristles and it's stiff, okay? So it's not a flimsy, but it's not metal, it's plastic. And depending on how smooth or how textured your surface is will also depend on how well of a transfer you get or how flawless, okay, I should say. Remember, with foils, we're always going to have flaws. We're never going to have something that comes out 100% perfect, okay? And as I pull it back, if I do have black showing somewhere and I've only pulled it back partially, well, the foil that should transfer there is still stuck to the plastic. So if I lay it right back down and say go, okay, I never circular until I've actually done full release, okay? Then sometimes I can come back and just do like circular motion and really work it into whatever texture is on that surface. And then I might get a little bit more transfer, which I did, okay? So we're gonna do the other side as well. Lift it up. Ooh, it's sticking good. And again, I've got a couple spots that didn't transfer perfect yet. So lay it back down. Give it another good scrub, okay? So you should end up with a piece of foil that is almost clear. Okay, there shouldn't be really much left on that foil. You should be able to see through it pretty well. And you can keep all your scraps. Okay, so all these little pieces here could still be used, but everything that's clear, throw it away because there's no foil on the back side of that anymore, and you're not going to get anything else out of that. Okay, so we are going to go forward here and we're going to grab our center. And I decided to do Odell because I thought that was a pretty combination to go on the koi cheetah. So I'm going to cut a little piece of this. Okay, so I'm going to put my foil directly over my little circle here. So I'm always rub it. I try to always rub with my cloth first and then come after it with my scrub brush. And then see what we got here. Oh my gosh, this is the Odell, and I'm telling you, this, oh, it covers so beautiful. But look at what a fun combination that is. Woohoo! Okay, so we're done with all of our foiling, and now we're going to come in and do a little freehand embellishing, okay, to finish this off. Now, it's a personal preference if you want to or not, but I think it adds so much character and kind of brings all the petals in together. So this is what we're going to do. And I'm just going to do some practice on paper first, okay, so that you see what I'm doing. And I'm doing very, very easy brush stroke, okay? So I don't know about you guys, but I have buckets and buckets of brushes because we need a brush for everything we do, every possible size. And I love my long liners for this. This is like one of my favorite brushes to do my freehand with. Even though I got a million brushes in here, I use this one a ton. Now I'm going to zoom in. This is, like I said, one of my um, favorite brushes to use. And I think I'm going to demo on a plate, okay? Let's get a couple of plates out here. I love my foam plates. And let's see, I'll put my paints out. So I grabbed some metallic colors. You don't have to use metallic. I just thought that would be kind of fun. I also have some craft paints, which will give us some contrast. So it'll be kind of fun to have a little mixture of maybe metallic and your craft paints because that way you're going to have a sheen difference as well. Okay. Just so you know what the kit included is your 2 pieces of wood, your 4-ounce foil adhesive. So it's a nice little bottle of foil adhesive. And then you got to choose 2 foils. Your first choice, you're going to get 2 feet. Your second choice, you're going to get 1 foot. So you get 3 feet of foil. And there are instructions with it. Okay, so the only thing that's not in the written instructions is the freehand that we're going to do right now. But yes, you can still buy the kit. We have the kit available, and then we also have just the wood. So let's say we have so many of our customers that have the foil adhesive and foil, you can just buy the wood pieces, okay, and you can do this. Okay, so I'm going to shake up my bottles. Like I said, I wanted to kind of play with my metallics, but I'm also going to put out, these are brand new. These are some of Modern Masters' newest colors. This one's called Glacier Blue, which is a pretty color. And I thought that would complement, ooh, so yummy. I thought that would complement the Odell foil well. Okay, so I'm just cleaning off the lid because those are the protective lids. Get my fingers cleaned off there. Okay, so we're going to have that color. We're also going to grab our purple. This is another new one called Amethyst. Ooh, I've opened that one. Okay, I didn't realize I'd opened that. And this is Gold Rush, okay? And it's in a matte. So Modern Masters makes a gorgeous line of metallic paints, okay? I can't say enough good things about their paint. For metallic paint, it has the best coverage. They've got beautiful saturation. They have great metallic. They got a beautiful a range of colors, but some of their colors, they actually have matte metallic in. Not all of them, but some of them have the matte metallic. So I thought I'd play with that because that, again, was a sheen difference, okay, which is always fun. Now I'm going to go ahead and put out some of my acrylics as well. Um, I shake my acrylics really well because some of these have sat for a long time. But that is also a nice thing to say that some of my acrylics have probably been here for years. I have a huge three, four drawer bin, plastic bin, okay, one of those plastic carts that is just packed with acrylics. And I know I probably had some of these for 5 to 10 years, probably. Some of them are newer. I'm sure some of these colors are definitely older because I'm going to put out an assortment of color. Definitely have to have some black for fun. So like I said, I just want to do a little brush stroke work with you. So I'm going to play on this piece of styrene, trying to get everything out of my way and let you see what I'm going to do. Sometimes it helps to have a bucket of water or some water. That way, if the particular color that you're grabbing is really thick, you can thin it down. Now, this is what I call a long liner. So it really has like almost an inch of bristle or close to it. And you want to load the whole thing. And then I kind of twist it in my fingers so I can offload some of the extra paint. The next one we're going to do is just coming in and outlining, okay? And again, all of our strokes are coming to the middle, which our circle is going to hide. So just don't worry about the middle. And if you run out, you can always load some more paint on there. Okay, I have my pinky down. Okay, if you can get into this position, this is kind of nice because it kind of gives you a little bit of a guide and stables your hand. Not everybody can get into that position, okay? And then that's all we're doing, okay? Very, very simple. You can decide to add it or not. And then on the center, all I was doing, and we'll just play with some different colors here, because I don't know what colors yet I am going to use. But all I was doing was creating like little half moons. So it just kind of looked like there is, oop, this is going to make green. I put yellow and blue together. Um, just so it looks like there's some detail to the center, okay? So they're just half moons, that's it. And you can go single or you can go woo, woo, okay, double. Did you like that? Add it, woo, woo. Um, but that is all that I center, okay? And then I definitely came back into the very center of it and kind of just made a little bit bigger area so that we had like a center focus of the flowers. And that's it, okay? So that is our simple brush stroke work that we are going to do. So we're just going for it, okay? I can't wait to see all of what you guys do here, okay? And like I said, I don't worry so much about my lines coming together in the center because our flower center is going to cover all that. Okay. I always tell everybody, I always find when everybody's doing their freehand work, it's like I remind you to breathe, okay? Because we all tend to hold our breath when we do that. I'm not only not holding my breath tonight, I'm trying to carry on a conversation with you as I'm doing this. But there's nothing perfect about it. Okay. I'm just outlining my flowers, giving them some character. Um, yes, Rhonda, extender, the extender from Deco Art Americana. I've always loved that product. I use that always when I'm stenciling, and it really helps the paints to flow well when you're doing your stenciling projects, because we're always in a dry brush technique, and that dry brush can just really make your paint seem super, super dry. Okay, if you haven't noticed yet, I basically reload for every stroke because this long liner brush is not going to hold too much paint. So instead of running out partway through one of my brush strokes, I just go ahead and reload every time. And that way I can hopefully keep my strokes complete. Now, if by chance I forget and my paint runs out, I can always go back and add. Not all is lost. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm almost finished my last petal here, okay? Now I'm going to let this set for a minute, And I'm gonna go for my centerpiece because all of this can be drying, which means I can come back and I'm gonna come back with the gold because I want the gold to be part of this. Oh, but you know what? Let's do my other little strokes first, okay? Where is our, oh, I was looking for this. It's upside down. That is sad. Okay, I had it upside down. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other little lines too. Okay, this is still gonna stay in black, but I want to go ahead and do these as well because um, I'm going to layer gold on top of this, okay? Because I think it'd be fun to have some gold. Okay, and I think I want to do this towards me, okay? I think my lines come out better if I'm going towards me instead of away. And remember that I don't have to worry about what the center of this looks because guess what? That center of my flower is going to hide any imperfections. These are so much fun. Okay, I always get ready to make a second stroke, and sometimes I have to stop myself because I know I am going to have a better line if I reload with every stroke, okay? And I know it's more time consuming, but I'm not going to run out of paint. If I don't reload, I'll probably run out of paint before I get to the end, okay? But nothing has to be perfect. These are just fun and whimsy and something to just add some charm to our homes, or do as a fun project to give away. Just depends. So I'm going to go ahead and do my center. I'm going to do it with metallic, and I probably add a little bit of black just for some depth and dimension, okay? And remember, these are basically just your little half moon strokes, okay? Letting them uh, just layer over the top of each other. Let's see if I can get even tighter here, okay? I want to see if that's the smallest box I can get. And oops, I just dripped, okay, but that's okay. We're going to have a little dot. Nothing is lost, okay? So if you're not comfortable with doing the 2 loops, just do the single loop, okay? So just make your little half moon, but it's just going to give us like the center petals of a flower. And I'm going to come back with the teal. I wash my brush off and come in with the teal. I'm coming over so it's called amethyst. This is amethyst? No. Yeah, it is amethyst. Okay. So I'm doing the amethyst, and that's called Glacier Blue. And these are Modern Masters metallics here. And it really is personal if you want to add this or not. Okay. And then I think we're going to do the center with the Glacier Blue. Okay. So we're just going to make like a little extra center part there. Okay, so we're going to add some dots. We're going to just have fun with this. Kind of putting them in between. And I think I'm going to stay with the blue. And yes, you can still see my foil underneath, even though I'm just having way too much fun here. Okay, now that's going to take a lot longer to dry because those are raised dots, okay? Hopefully you can see that well. Okay, so my center is completely done. I'm going to set that aside. And now I want to come back and I'm going to go ahead and try the gold and see if I can get the gold to pop over my black strokes, okay, and just kind of soften things up. We're just going to see. Okay, we're going to just do some of the little center strokes, okay, and just add a little bit more detail, okay, just so we got 2 colors coming through. Oh, I like that with 2 colors. I don't know if I'm going to do the outlining, but I'm definitely going to do the centers. So it's just going to add a little bit more character, which this is just the fun stuff that I like to do. Now, once this is completely dry, and we all are going to have to wait, okay, because you don't want to push this, but once this is completely dry, you want to top coat it, with whatever favorite top coats you have. I'm not real picky. We use, here's one of the products we use, okay? Make sure you can see the label. That is by Golden Artist Colors. It's actually Golden Paintworks, okay? But Golden Artist Colors does manufacture it. And I use the gloss most of the time because that way I don't kill the sheen of the foils. And a couple of coats is perfect. But that'll definitely protect my project because your foils have to be protected. Not only do you want to protect them, but most of the time they're still going to be slightly sticky because we never get 100% coverage. And we need to make sure that we do have those protected and sealed, and that way it won't be sticky anymore. Now, this is not considered an exterior product, but my front porch where I'm going to hang these never sees direct sunlight, so I'm okay with that. But if you know you're going to go put them in your garden, then you want to make sure that you are putting an exterior varnish over yours and not just an interior varnish, okay? Okay, so final things that you're going to be doing here. Let this completely dry and put your top coat on it so that you can protect your surface. I would put a couple of top coats. I would go ahead and do the other side as well because you might as well have two-sided. And I think I'm just about dry enough that I can lay this on top, okay? Just so we can get a good visual of what that's going to look like. But oh, I think this is so fun, okay? Um, that came out so cool. And this is Koi Cheetah with Odell in the center. And you can use whatever glue you have around, but I've got Aleene's fast, what's it called? Fast Grab Tacky Glue. Okay, this stuff has been amazing, but whatever you have around will definitely work. So don't think you have to buy Aleene's Tacky Glue. And thank you again for being part of this. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye, guys.